Yeah.
Yep,
Awesome.
that works.
You're all being recorded, so
Shh, no more
don't say
talking
anything
crap.
you regret. Awesome. Cool. So dive into the actual conference. Um, we are starting on May the 4th, Thursday, May the 4th. We're doing that specifically because it is May the 4th, and we're going to have a May the 4th party that night. So that's going to be a fun thing to do. And you don't have to get there, like that it starts in the evening. So you have like the whole day to travel to get to Biosphere and everything. Or you can get there, earlier and tour Tucson or whatever you want to do. But we'll kind of start the actual activities that evening, and then moving into the next 2 days. Pull up my notes real quick on my phone. Give me a second. So on Thursday night, not only do we have the May the 4th party, please bring your Jedi robes and R2D2s or whatever you have. Big space party. We're also going to be doing Cosmic Perspective is going to be performing. That's Mary Liz Bender. If you guys know her, she's brilliant. So she'll be doing her musical performance. So that's kind of our big event, our big concert and everything, to highlight Mary Liz. And then Friday is going to be our first conference day where we have like the actual sessions and presenters and keynote and all those different things. So that is Friday during the day. That evening, we're doing our free play night, which is going to be all sorts of fun things that we thought you all would enjoy. So that's we've got an arcade, we've got art installations, we've got movie in the Mars Yard, which I think is super fun. Mars Yard is down at the Sam Habitat, so they've got basalt kind of making it like a big Mars analog, and so it's kind of this big room, so we'll put up a projector and watch some space movie. I don't remember what we ended up watching last year, but we've got, Interstellar, The Martian, all these different things that we could watch, and we'll probably take a vote night of. We've got moon gazing, which is also stargazing because the location of this is kind of in the middle of nowhere, so the stars are brilliant and really good to see. Sound bath in the dome, which is another very unique thing to Biosphere that we can have the chance to do that. And fireside chats. So this is going to be kind of like our fun camp day, if you ask me. That night is going to be kind of our bonding night and everything. Lots of fun things to pick between. Let's see here. Then moving into Saturday, Saturday morning, actually, Rosanna, I'm super glad you're here. Rosanna's here. She'll be guiding a meditation before breakfast. So if you want to get up early, we'll be doing a meditation, guided meditation. So if you've never meditated before, it's a good chance to kind of see what it's all about. And then moving into that day, we'll have all of our presentations and all the reason that you guys are there, learning about analogs and stuff. Saturday night, we have our second kind of concert where we have a lot of space community members that are very musically inclined, and I'm not one of them, so I'm very excited to listen to all of them. We've got people like Charlie, Foxanne, Jay Forte, Space Racer, Brandy, if you guys know her. Those are names familiar to you. Just kind of a rotating concert type thing. Sunday morning, we're going to have Emily, who runs Interstellar Lab Performance. She's going to be doing a workout before breakfast. So similar to the meditation, we'll be doing a workout on Sunday morning. Sorry, just quickly, Emily's workout will now be in the evening. Oh, of Sunday or Saturday? I'm just checking the agenda.
Oh,
that
got moved.
It did get moved, yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing that instead of, I need to find, I've got too many agendas. Instead, we're going to do that one on, I want to say Saturday evening. Oh, which one did I update? Sorry, give me 1 second and I will find the correct one for you.
Well, when you get there, Jazz, feel free to cut in again. But yeah, so Emily will be doing a workout, which Emily is the Interstellar Lab Performance focuses on getting people ready for analog missions. So this is kind of part of
Friday evening. So we're going to
Friday.
Yes, Friday evening at 5 p.m. So there'll be a good hour and a half before dinner starts for Emily to do her training, and then for everybody to like gather themselves, shower and all of that, and get ready as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So, okay, that'll be Friday, which means Sunday we have some stuff in the morning, right, Jazz? Some kind of like closing things, and then we're done by afternoon,
Oh no, so
mid-afternoon.
Sunday morning is still a full morning of talks, presentations.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
the closing will happen around midday, just like a 30-minute close. And then that's officially the close of the conference. And then Sunday afternoon is then set aside for all the behind the scenes extended tour of SAM and Biosphere.
Yeah.
Kai is very excited to give these SAM tours because SAM has evolved quite a lot since last year. So got to stick
Cool.
around
So,
hopefully if you can for Sunday
yeah.
afternoon. There should be a
And,
couple of hours long.
yeah, I was gonna say, and one of the best reasons to come to this conference is to get that behind the scene tour of SAM and Biosphere. It's a really unique experience that you can't just get if you were to decide to go to Biosphere some other day and just do the generic tour. This is way more behind the scenes. So highly recommend signing up for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So that's kind of the agenda. And actually, I kind of just realized we didn't introduce the team at all. So if you are, Jazz is our like founder, I guess, or you co-founder with Cyan and running the show, I guess. I'm here working with the community group. Rebecca does, I don't know, everything, social media, aligning people, that kind of stuff. We've got Ryan and Alvin. So these are your team members who we have been planning this. So if you guys have any questions, you can direct message any of us on any platform. If you find us on LinkedIn or whatever, we are a good group to talk to. What?
I think Mac's doing our video. He's one of our sponsors. And then we also have Matthias can answer questions about Biosphere because he's on the staff now.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, I'm actually working, I'm building out the SAM, and I'm in charge of the Mars yard. So next week I get to start bringing basalt into the yard and start doing that. But as of Friday, Friday, we got the blower system working, and we got all the electrical cut into the 20-foot, and we're ready for pressure test on Tuesday.
Very cool.
So, and start testing out. So it'll be ready by the AAC. Yeah, we'll already have you have run through that by then.
I'll prove it out. Yeah.
But yes,
So,
as far as I know, Mac and I are, at least Mac and I, maybe someone is doing the filming there. So have to get with him, and looks like he just popped on. Sweet.
Yeah.
About the filming part of this. But yeah, I know Sam very well, Biosphere pretty well now, and so I can help answer any questions by that time because I'll probably know a lot more by then. And Kai and I are working really well together, so I'm kind of his right-hand man now on a lot of stuff. Cool.
Looks like Mac's getting in shape. What's going on, Mac?
What's up,
buddy?
I
got to prepare for the Analog Astronaut Conference, and Kai's going to get us to run another 10-mile. I got to get ready for it.
I'm not doing that, by the way.
I was saying that was required of conference.
Well, it was supposed to be a 5K, but he was like, "Oh no, let's just stretch it a little bit. Let's just stretch it a little bit." It was one of those. Let's just reach the end of this, horse farm or this something here or there, and then it just kept on going on and on. So.
Yep, I can
Sounds
see
like
that.
Kai. So, and yeah, so Mac is going to be doing video with you, Matthias, obviously, but and that brings up another point. If you guys are curious about this and you're not sure what to expect, we do have our 2022 recording of the Analog Astronaut Conference on YouTube, so you guys can go check that out if you just kind of want to see what it looks like and everything. And we will be recording again when you guys got your tickets, or you're about to get your tickets because you're so excited about this. You'll see that there's this thing that says like, I allow myself to be recorded. And if you don't want to be part of that, please click that so we know not to record you or not post anything with you in it or anything like that.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too.
Yeah, we are getting everyone's permission, so don't worry. But obviously, it is easier on us if you guys do allow permission. But if there is an issue, please let us know ahead of time so we don't have to like crop videos and like, completely miss out on something really important or something like that. So please let us know ahead of time.
All right.
So, let's see here. Other kind of discussion points, if you have not bought your ticket already and you're still kind of going back and forth, we are increasing our prices as of April 1st. So please buy your ticket before April 1st. Unless you really want to support us and give us more money, then you can wait. But also please tell your friends to buy before April 1st. If you are going and you have people that you want to come, make sure they know that the price goes up after that. So just as a heads up to everyone, go ahead.
I don't know if you're going to mention this, Bailey, but just in addition to that, we have a new question when you buy your ticket. If you have been referred by someone, Emily's just done our t-shirt design for us. I'll be sharing that in an email with you guys, so you'll be able to see this year's t-shirt design. So we're going to have a little raffle. So if you do refer a friend to buy a ticket, you and that person will be entered into the raffle to win one of our t-shirts. But the t-shirts will also be available to pre-order. Don't worry if you've entered the raffle and you've bought your t-shirt. If you win the t-shirt, we will refund your order. So you can purchase your t-shirt as well, but you can also win one if you refer a friend to buy a conference.
And I wore mine today, so I've got my analog. Where is it? There
I
we
was
go.
about to say,
Yeah.
if we're going to be working kind of there, I would like one as well. So
We'll have some for staff. I think this is a staff one. You can see the back, so you know who all the staff people are.
oh,
We'll,
that's pretty cool.
yeah,
Right on.
we'll have that good to go, so you'll be able
I mean,
to.
I could wear the CMOC shirt that Kai gave me, but you know, the Biosphere 2 CMOC Sam shirt. But
yeah, well, yeah, we'll
I'd
work
rather-
through it. Don't
I'll
worry.
get you
Yeah.
a black one, Matthias.
Yeah.
I'll get you a black.
Yeah. Woo-hoo. Okay, so that
Gotta get
segues.
black.
Thanks, Mac. That segues to one of my questions, which is how hot is it going to be? What should we wear? What should we not wear? Are open-toed shoes okay? Are flip-flops, sandals? Do we need to have like protective shoes? Are we going to be walking a lot outside? Do we need sunscreen? Do we need light stuff, or do we need a sweatshirt? And what's our casita like? Is it hot in our casita?
That's another
See
thing
if
with
I
the
can answer all those
casitas.
questions real quick.
Everybody has to make sure that they order their casitas, because even now because I have a casita up there now because I'm living up there 4 days a week, and we don't know if I'm supposed to be good with my casita through May, but because of the conference, I don't know what's going on with that. He doesn't know if he's got to pay for staff for the casitas. So if people plan on staying up there, probably should
Yeah,
do
I'll
that.
go over casitas in just a second.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Cover
That was
clothing
on
and
my-
stuff real quick. That was actually next on my agenda, so I will cover that for you, Rebecca, real
Sweet.
quick. Actually, before attire, I did want to talk about food. That was the next thing actually on my agenda. So real quick, food wise, it is included in your ticket, and that kind of brings up the casita thing. If you choose to stay on campus and everything like that, you can stay outside of it, but I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, that's very difficult. There's not hotels for quite a few miles, and like you'd have to rent a car, and it's a disaster. So I recommend you stay on campus. And with that, your meals are included in your ticket price, so you don't have to like think about what you're going to eat and that kind of stuff. And Biosphere offers very good meals. I thought they were delicious last time. There's gonna be breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they are at set times, so you do have to like make sure you don't miss the meal or something like that. It's a decent amount of time. It's not like 15 minutes ready, go. But you have a set amount of time for these meals, and we will have like snacks and stuff in each of the rooms of like leftover muffins and that kind of stuff. So there will be, you're not going to go hungry, but try to make sure you hit the meals. And Jazz, are we doing this vegetarian again this year? Is that what we're doing?
So all meals will be vegetarian this year.
Awesome. So plenty of, don't worry,
That's- sorry,
very healthy.
through Sunday, correct? Sunday lunch is the last
Sunday
meal.
lunch. Yeah.
Right. So if people are doing the tours, they have to figure out if they're staying at the casitas that night, or if they're
Is that
going to go
an
into.
No,
I don't think that's
so
enough
no,
time.
people can't stay. Guests
Got
are
it.
not allowed to stay Sunday night. The guest casitas. So when you book your ticket, you'll also see in the buy tickets site there'll be a place for you to book your accommodation. You can choose just a normal room, or there's an option to choose a shared room. If you choose a shared room, you can specify, after you book your accommodation, you have the opportunity to fill in the form, and in that you get to specify who you want to share with. And if you don't have someone specific that you want to share with, we can pair you up with somebody. The accommodation is only for the nights of the conference. So all guests need to preferably arrive on the Thursday for the just before the May the 4th be with you party. You can start arriving from midday, and like Bailey said, you can tour Tucson before, or even walk around Biosphere 2 before the party kicks off. And then we would need everybody to leave their rooms on the Sunday, sort of late afternoon, preferably before 5 p.m. because Kim and the team do need to then prepare the casitas for like other events they have after hours as well. So unfortunately, we can't allow people to stay before and after the conference.
Yeah. So, and that's, yeah. So, and good question, Skylar. I feel like casitas and getting to and from biosphere are like the biggest questions. So I'm trying to run through some of the other questions that are a little bit easier, and we'll go over casitas and transportation in a second here. So don't worry, you didn't miss that yet. Let's see. So food provided as long as you, well, is it provided all 3 meals if they don't stay on campus, Jazz?
Yeah, absolutely. You are not required to stay in a casita for the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's just it's included in your ticket price. So if you
The
have
ticket
a
price,
ticket
got
to
it,
the
yeah.
conference, the meals are included. So you can,
Cool.
if you do want to stay in a hotel, it's about 20 minutes away. You're welcome to do so, and you're welcome to stay for dinner and evening entertainment and all of it.
Cool.
And
Good.
just to re-emphasize that all the meals are vegetarian. So if you are like a strict carnivore or something, if there's something in your diet that you require fish or meat or something, please bring it canned or dried, whatever you need. Make alternate arrangements to supplement.
I wonder if Kai had something to do with that because he's strictly vegetarian.
Yeah, no, that's a Kai thing for sure.
That has to be.
but-
I sense something.
But I will say the casitas do have kitchens, so if you do want to make your own food, if something like that is an issue.
Sorry, Bailey. No, the kitchens and the casitas, we have been asked not to use. If you do use them,
don't use those.
there is no cutlery, there is no pots and pans, there's no like cooking equipment of any kind. The fridges were not turned on, so
Gotcha.
store
Okay.
food, like in the mass amount of casitas. Obviously, the people that are living there normally, their casitas will be a little bit different, but for guests, the kitchen is not. You don't really rely upon usage of the kitchen.
Okay.
And of course, Kim's requested as well, like if you were to use the kitchen for whatever, the microwave probably is functional, please just leave it in, a clean condition the way you found it. But in general, don't rely upon using the kitchens.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, there is
there
the
coffee?
but
Is there coffee? Maybe there's not coffee makers in our casita. Is there coffee? Some of us are coffee dependent.
So we should be getting our coffee. We will have coffee stations, and we should be getting our coffee sponsored by Copper Moon. So we'll have some Copper Moon coffee there for you. But yes, there'll be coffee stations in the outside the conference or inside the conference rooms.
Yeah. Cool. And I think that's food. So yeah, as mentioned, if you guys have dietary restrictions, we need to start thinking through that because this is a vegetarian. We're also focused on sustainability. That's one of our kind of cores. So that's where a lot of this is coming from as well. Any questions about food? I'm going to move on to attire after this. Any questions about food? Feel free to throw it in the chat if you don't want to come off mute. But
Is there breakfast on Sunday morning before people get out to the airport?
and lunch, right? Yes.
And lunch, yeah.
Yeah, so there is breakfast, definitely. Lunch is something that we'd like to provide. We're just thinking about it. We don't want to do the usual sort of 1.5 hour lunch slot, just so that we can give people the time they might, if people need to leave early but still want to do the tours, we want to just make sure they have the time to do those tours. So we might do something like a packed lunch for that Sunday. But yeah, we'll try and provide that.
Thank you. How about Joe? What's your question?
So for ground transportation, are we going to have any sort of ride sharing set up where we can?
Yeah, I'll get to transportation soon.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see. I'll answer, and Ashley, I see your questions as well. I'll get to those as well coming up here. So we'll move on to attire real quick. It's very casual. If you want to wear a suit and tie, you are more than welcome to. We will not stop you, but I don't recommend it. If you're presenting or something and you want to dress up a little bit for your presentation, I mean, your casitas will be right there. You can go back and change if you really want. If you are the type of person that likes to just be the best dressed person in the room, we won't stop you. But it is very, I wore my flip-flops for pretty much my flip-flops and joggers, I think, for the entire time last time around. I tried to dress it up a little bit and it just was so casual that I just wasn't feeling it. So t-shirts, flip-flops, hats, all that sort of stuff, whatever you guys are comfortable with. I will say though that this is the middle of the desert, so keep in mind flip-flops are great if you're staying in the casita area with Biosphere, specifically during the day. I think flip-flops are great, but as you're walking around at night and as we go to some of these other places, I do recommend closed-toed shoes. You don't know what critters are going to be crawling around, there are cactus around, that kind of stuff. So it's easy in the day when we're just kind of all hanging out. You can wear whatever you want, but I would bring some closed-toed shoes. Hiking boots, even if you have them, is a good idea. Let's see. temperature wise, I haven't really looked at temperature. I lived in Tucson for a while. Usually May is when it starts getting hot. So it'll be dry. It's not the rainy season yet, but it will be warm. I'm guessing somewhere between the 80 and 90s in there somewhere.
I was sorry, I was looking at the 2-week forecast, which is really close. It looks like it might be like low 80 because
Yeah.
Oracle's a little cooler than Tucson. So it should be nice. And
yeah, well, yeah, in May it gets
yeah.
a little bit warmer, but yeah.
and
Is
yeah,
there any-
we're seeing rattlesnakes and scorpions now down at Sam.
Yeah.
So
Don't freak out, guys. Don't worry.
Okay.
Is there any climate control inside of the main conference or in our casitas?
Yeah,
Those will
everything
have
is
it.
air conditioned.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Air conditioning in your
Yeah,
room.
you'll be
air
fine.
conditioning in
It'll
the
be cool.
conference rooms.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Don't worry about rattlesnakes and scorpions. Last time we actually went at nighttime with like what are those UV torches or whatever they are, night torches.
Yeah,
And we went looking for scorpions. It was really cool. They're only
I
little.
did that. Yeah, when I was in Kuwait a long time ago. But no, we got bobcats we've seen come up. We got wild turkeys that come up. We've had javelinas come up. So it's full of life. Deer all over the place. It's beautiful down there at Sam.
It's a-
But yeah, gotta kind of watch yourself. I don't at night. I haven't gone at night yet. So
Oh yeah, there's definitely
need to
stuff
do a night
crawling
hike.
around there at night. So just
Yeah.
be aware of that. And like if you're staying where people are, and our casita
You're
area is
fine.
like a human area. So don't worry about it quite as much, but especially if you kind of go off the beaten road a little. I'm going to be bringing a little lantern that I have. So if you guys have a flashlight, especially like a clip-on flashlight or something, I mean, your phone flashlight works as well, but just have something like that. Tucson, like I said, well, it is a desert, so it is hot, as mentioned, but it also means it gets colder at night. So don't plan on wearing shorts at night. Plan on bringing like just a jacket or something. That should be more than enough. But it does get colder, so don't plan on it being like a beach vacation or something. Hats are good. Bring a water bottle because we want you guys to stay hydrated. Also, with this being a desert, that means that it's less humidity. So I do recommend bringing like chapstick and stuff like that because you can dry out a little bit if you're not used to it. Sunscreen's a great idea. Honestly, you probably won't need bug repellent. There's not too many bugs. There's some mosquitoes, so maybe some
there
bug
are.
repellent is a good idea. But it's also a desert, so. Matt,
And
did
I
you
also
add
want to,
anything?
sorry, Bailey. I also want to say the water up there, you can drink out of the tap because it's out of an aquifer. So it's
Yeah.
really fresh. So you don't have to worry about filtering stuff. In town, it tastes like chlorine. But up there, it's
We
like
won't be
fresh. So
there.
yeah, you guys don't have to bring extra water or filters if you don't have to. So sorry.
Yeah, the nights aren't that cold, but it did get pretty windy. That is something I did remember, and it got windy. And I remember that because of the editing the sound in the videos. I couldn't really
Yeah,
get the sound right
you're right.
because of all that wind. So keep in mind that it could get pretty windy. When it does get windy,
It gets windy. You're absolutely right. We're chasing stuff down that it gets pretty breezy down there. So yeah, good call. Good call on that.
Awesome. And like I said, I wouldn't anticipate rain, but I mean, it's always an option because the weather doesn't, weather has a mind of its own. Typically there won't be rain, but if you guys want to bring like a rain jacket or something, it's not a bad idea.
And Bailey, what about like blow drying our hair or using the shower? Is it easy to keep clean out there? Do we have to wait for the shower? Are there blow dryers in our unit, or should we just completely go natural?
So each casita does have multiple bathrooms, like for, like some of them are shared. Like my casita had a bathroom in unit, some of the other ones had to share, but there are bathrooms that you guys can, within your casita, figure it out. I don't remember there being a hair dryer. Does anyone remember a hair dryer? You might have to bring your own.
I haven't seen one.
I
Is
asked
underneath-
that for Joe because Joe really
Yeah,
wanted to.
just in case. Yeah.
Right, so you probably have to bring that, but those showers are regular showers. I mean, it's like a regular condo. It's just a
Cool, with
casita. It just
electricity.
looks southwestern. Yeah. So
Okay, cool.
don't.
Yep.
I know it's in the middle of the desert, but man, a billionaire built this place. You guys got to remember. So there is some amazing stuff here, and so everything's pretty modern. Like I said, the water's great. You'll have a great time. Just bring a jacket at night, like they were saying.
Cool. Alrighty. So any other questions on attire? Specifically attire. We'll get to some of the other questions coming up. Once, twice, three. No. Okay. All right. Well, I did want to address Ashley's question about an option to do
I'm sorry,
standbys.
Bailey. I just thought about something to mention on attire.
That's fine.
Just quickly, we mentioned the IP labs, the Interstellar Performance Labs training that Emily is going to be providing. I don't know entirely what is involved in that yet. It'll be a nice surprise, but some of it might be some hiking or walking or something physical. So if you do want to bring some, I don't know, sporty-ish clothes for that, trainers, whatever, it might be a nice idea.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, good point. And you know, Kai might bring us on this run again. So yeah, that's definitely a closed-toed shoe thing. Yeah, Ryan mentioned the critters. Like I said, I wore sandals throughout the day and it was fine, but especially at night and on these runs, you're gonna want closed-toed shoes. Alrighty. So, and Jazz, this is a question for you because I think it would work out, but we'd have to talk to Kai. Can we do tours on Thursday instead?
That was something I'll have to check with Kai on before I say anything. Let me check with him and then I'll send an email out to everybody afterwards if we are able to accommodate that.
Awesome. Thank you. And great question, Ashley. That's, you know, people have different schedules and stuff. So great idea. And there may be opportunities like kind of maybe not Thursday, but there might be some holes that we can fill in. And as mentioned, there is a self-guided tour, which is also super cool to go see. I just recommend the one that Kai can pull you guys
Yeah,
behind more.
the self-guided tour is an app. You just download Biosphere 2 app, and then it will take you through the entire tour virtually. And there's arrows lining to where to go, and they'll take you into the Biosphere stuff.
Mhm.
So if you do get there like early Thursday and you want a tour, you can actually do the virtual tour by yourself.
Cool.
So you just won't have someone leading you like Kai or whoever.
Yeah, and going like underneath and stuff. That was
Right. And that's where Trent took me when I first got there. But I have to know where the belly of Biosphere is because I had to get parts and stuff. It was yesterday,
Yeah.
it was great. Friday was crazy. Yeah. So
alrighty.
anyway, yeah.
Let's see here. Let's move on to casitas because I think there's a lot of questions about casitas. Oh, thanks for that one, Rebecca. Cool. Let's see. I'm gonna dive in with kind of overall. There's 2 rooms still, Jazz. Thumbs up. There are 2 rooms for conferences, like where the rooms.
Oh yes, yes. There are 2 main conference rooms. There's the lower half, which is actually in Biosphere, which is pretty cool, and then there's the main room, which is the Sahara room. That's the one we tend to kind of gather in at first.
Yeah. So what's it's kind of hard to think about it in your head. So the casitas are kind of up here and Biosphere is a little bit more down here. There's like some stairs and it's not a long walk, but it's a bit of a walk. So we kind of hang up out here in the casitas. That's where we're sleeping. One of the conference rooms is there. The dining area is here, but the dining area is outside, just so everyone's very clear on that. It's not like a dining hall. It's like a nice little sit on the lawn. Like I actually really enjoy it. So, but it's a good area. And then the conference room that we usually go to is here. You walk through casitas a little bit, go down the stairs, and there's Biosphere. And it's a magnificent sight when you just like walk up and it just opens up and it's beautiful. But one of the other conference rooms is going to be down in there. So if you do, that's just something to think about is like the back and forth of like, if you have a speaker you want to see that's like, you might have to do a little bit of running. But like I said, it's a short walk. It's not bad.
Yeah, allow yourself like 5 minutes to get between them.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see here. Dining areas outside.
I have a follow-up on that one, Bailey. So if we're walking from the conference up to the casitas and to the dining area, if we're wearing sandals, are we gonna be walking in sand to get rocks in our sandals or little scorpions and stuff?
No, it's all paved.
Yeah, you'll be okay. Yeah. So good question though. Thank you. Alrighty. And I will say it does get a little chilly in some of those rooms sometimes. So you might want to just bring like a jacket if you're one of those people that gets a little cold, not for outside, but for inside, you know, with the AC blowing. So casita wise, this is, like I said, this is gonna be very confusing. So everyone bear with me as I try to explain all this. We've kind of talked about it. It's easiest to stay on campus. You are completely allowed to stay in a hotel. If you do that, you will need to get your own rental car because you'll have to drive back and forth and you will you'll miss out on some stuff because it does get late, start early, those kinds of things. And living on the casitas is just kind of an experience of the conference, I guess. So my recommendation is to do that. But you are allowed, if you don't like that or something else is going on, more than welcome to stay in a hotel. As mentioned, it's like 10 miles away, 20-minute drive. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. But in the casitas, there's various number of rooms per casita, like somewhere between like 3 and 5, somewhere in there. Most rooms have 2 beds. And as Jazz kind of mentioned, you are allowed to opt to have your own room or say, I'm willing to share a room. Some rooms have a bathroom attached. Some rooms share a bathroom with other rooms. That's kind of another kind of thing. you can't opt to have your own casita, like, because that's a very big thing that we need that room for everyone else and everything like that. So you can have your own room, you can share a room, which is cheaper to share your room. And then the larger casita people will be in. That's not too big of a deal. It's, you don't spend a whole lot of time in your casita anyways. And really all it is a shared common area with a couch and then like the little kitchen area. That's really all it is. So it's just kind of, I don't know, like sharing a floor on a hotel room or something. Like it's kind of like that.
I mean, that's big, right? Like it's more like sharing an apartment.
It's like sharing. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. It's
Yeah,
like
you have
sharing
like a common area.
Yeah, we're talking
common
about
area.
you sharing a casita with maybe like a maximum of 4 other people, and in
Mhm.
smaller casitas maybe 2 or 3, something like that.
Yeah. Or if like, you know, you double up
Or
in
if you're
rooms
doubling
and stuff
up,
on
yeah,
some of the
exactly.
casitas, it might
Yeah,
go
in
up.
my casita, it's Kai upstairs, I'm on the bottom, and then Sean is in the room next to him upstairs. And shoot, yeah, my room's got 2 beds. It's huge.
Yeah,
So
it's good space. And
Mhm.
some casitas don't have upstairs and some do. So if you do have like a I don't want stairs kind of thing, make sure we know that so that we can get you in a
Mhm.
casita with no stairs. Or you
Yeah,
could just
so
get the bottom rooms, I guess.
yeah, just stay in the bottom. Yeah, because there's a bathroom on both floors. So
So the important thing really is when you book your accommodation, like I already said, you must fill in that form, because that form that you'll receive a link to, that is where you can share all this information with us. Any requests that you have, you know, who you want to share with, you can, if you have like, if there's 4 or 5 of you and you want to stay in the same casita, you can specify that in the form as well, right? So that form is really your way of sort of telling us how you'd like to share your casita, if you need a ground floor, all of that information in the form. Please fill that in for Emily. It would really help her.
Yes. So, and that's attached. I don't know if Rebecca, if that's a link you can grab real quick, but the accommodations ticket on the AAC website. You're good
Yep,
at grabbing things,
I'll
so
put that in.
thank you. Thank you for that. So we'll throw that in there if you guys haven't done that yet. As mentioned, so it's $99 a night if you're in your own casita. It's cut in half if you decide to share with someone. And I believe the way that works is one of you guys pays the $99 and then you have to work between yourselves to pay the other person back.
So, sorry, Bailey.
Oh, that changed too?
Okay.
Okay.
Now is, so when you go to buy your tickets, you'll see the option, and there'll be 2 options. It'll say accommodation, which will be $360, which is the 3 nights for a room to yourself. Then the other option will be a shared accommodation, and that will be $180 for the 3 nights, and that will be for a shared room. So it's
Okay,
much
great.
more simpler. You literally just choose a $360 option or the $180 option. And
Awesome.
you don't have to then worry too much about exchanging money between
Cool.
2 people or anything like that.
So we'll handle that. Never
We'll
mind.
handle that
Scratch
now.
that thing. Yeah. So, but as mentioned, this is the time to say, like, I want to stay in a casita with these people. I want, if this is, you know, being a younger woman, it's a really big deal for me that I don't share, I would like to share a room with another woman. That's kind of a big thing for me. So those kinds of things that like matter, make sure you can specify that as well. And yeah, we have a team working on the back end to move everyone into the right places. The sooner you do that, the better. If you guys all wait until the night before, it's going to be a mess. So please go ahead and fill in your preferences sooner so that we can get those accommodations settled. Any questions? Oh, go ahead.
If we've already purchased our accommodation, how do we go back and make a specification?
So you need to email, the email is on the ticket page. I believe it's just something, what is it? It's
Is it analogastro@gmail.com?
analogastro@gmail.com. So
And that's a good email for anything, any questions you guys
if you have any questions, send an email, and we'll take care of anything you forgot to put on your form or want to change.
And I also attached a Google form or a Google Doc that we have, a Google form. There you go. So that's in the chat as well, because I did have that one pulled up. We'll move on to transportation next. Any other accommodation questions specifically? So you will be available, like your room will be available Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. As Jazz mentioned, please check out and be cleaned out by 5 on Sunday.
I have a question. Is there Wi-Fi in our casitas? That's the first night of Space Kind is the Thursday at 5 p.m. And so where do we, if we have a meeting that we have to do, do we go back to our casita to do it? Is there Wi-Fi in there? Is there Wi-Fi in the convention? How do we work something like that?
There's Wi-Fi everywhere.
Yeah. There's
So you'll be
Wi-Fi
allowed,
everywhere.
you'll be logged on to U of A guests. So for those of you that don't know, Biosphere was bought by University of Arizona. So there's a U of A guest. It's just kind of like one of those generic university Wi-Fis. And you'll hop on that. It should be available everywhere. And that's a really good question. And kind of throughout the conference in general, you are more than welcome to go back to your casita whenever you want. If you are tired and you are sick of people for a little bit and you need a little bit of a break or take a nap, please go to your casita. That's why they're there. Like, it's on campus to do those things. And taking a meeting, feel free to go to your casita. If you find space kind of around Biosphere, you're more than welcome to kind of, change that up a little bit if you want, but casita is probably your best bet.
And what time is check-in on Thursday?
I don't know, Jazz. Do we have an actual time?
There's no specific check-in, preferably to make life easier for Kim, because whenever a guest arrives, we have to kind of register you, and Kim helps us with that, and give you like room keys and things. Ideally, it would be good if everybody tries to arrive around, after midday. So if everyone can arrive sometime
after lunch.
midday and what was that?
Oh, after lunch, don't come thinking that you'll be able to find lunch there. So I'd recommend get lunch
absolutely.
on the way, and then
grab your lunch, have something to eat, then come to Biosphere after lunch and join us. And as long as you're there before like 5-6 p.m. when the party's gonna kick off, it's absolutely fine. But like Ryan said, very good point. Like, you won't really be able to get food out there, so don't come before lunch. Come after lunch.
Yeah. So let's say between 2 and 6 p.m. somewhere in that time can be a good kind of check-in time frame. Alrighty, any other accommodation questions before we move on to transportation? 1, 2, 3, excellent. Okay, transportation. So as mentioned multiple times, Biosphere is in the middle of nowhere. This is kind of a difficult place to get to. Not like by car or anything like that, but it takes some time. It's about, if you're coming in from Tucson, it's depending where in Tucson you are, it's 45 to maybe an hour, just depending on what part of Tucson you're in.
It's an hour and 3 minutes for me. And the reason it's so slow is because it's a single line. Everything's 40, 45 miles an hour, 50. And you have to kind of go through town and snake up there. So you can't really take the freeway up there. You have to duck off the freeway. So it does take some time. And the airport's a little south of me. I'm just north of the Air Force Base, 2 miles. And the airport's a little bit south. So yeah, from the airport, I'm thinking probably close to an hour.
Yeah. So if you're coming in from Houston Airport, plan on it being about an hour to get up there. Phoenix is, I think, a little bit longer. I think Phoenix is a little bit, once again, depending on where in Phoenix
2 hours.
Phoenix is huge.
2 hours.
Yep.
Okay. It's going to be about an hour and a half is what I've kind of heard. And I think from the airport, it's about an hour and a half. But if it's further out, Phoenix traffic is horrible. It could be upwards of 2 hours. So just plan on kind of having that time to come in. Don't fly in and think you're going to immediately be at Biosphere. There's some travel time to actually get there. That being said, another very important thing to note is Uber drivers. If you're planning on Ubering to that old thing, you are able to get an Uber to Biosphere. That is it's going to be expensive because it's a long drive, but that they are allowed to do that. You cannot call an Uber if you're at Biosphere looking to leave. So keep that in mind as you're trying to figure out your accommodations to get back to the airport and everything like that. Getting there, it's doable. It's not the best. Leaving, it's almost impossible to get an Uber up there. So that being said, one thing that we are working on to kind of accommodate these things, there is a parking lot. So if you want to rent a car, if that's just easier for you, keep in mind, you won't really need it for 3 days. During the conference, we're not driving anywhere. We're all right there. But if that just gives you peace of mind to have it on Thursday and Sunday or whatever, that's perfectly fine. There's a parking lot to park things in. And then we have this handy little document as well.
That was my next question, is how can we sign up for carpooling for those who need to carpool, or those who need to connect with people who have cars? How can we get in touch with everyone?
Yep. And I was about to offer me, because I have a truck with a camper shell, so I can go pick people up at the airport, throw your stuff in the truck, and I can take you up there.
So, and that's a really great point. I'm planning on having my car there as well. I'm still back and forth if I'm actually going to be driving, but if I do, what I would do is I'd write in my, in the
form that I just put in, like I have a car available with this many seats. So if you can go ahead and do that as well, since you'll have your car, maybe like Trent and everyone else that's in Arizona who are willing to kind of help out with rides that way, put that in there so people know they can contact them. And then hey Jazz, we're not doing a shuttle this year, are we?
There's no shuttle, no.
No shuttle, yeah.
Oh, I just want to add one quick thing, because Terry's written something in the chat that just reminded me. If you are for some reason going to be arriving like after hours being like your standard sort of office hours, it would be really helpful for you to let us know, because then the reception is not going to be manned anymore. Kim and her team will have gone home. One of us will have to kind of come and greet you at the door and let you in. So if you do plan on arriving, let's just say after 5 p.m. for argument's sake, we'll just go with that. Please let us know.
Yeah. So that's a good thing to email to analogastro@gmail, or, make sure we know that. Okay. Any other I remember there were some transportation questions. Joe, did I answer your transportation question? You did? Okay, cool. Awesome. And Ashley, you had another one. Oh, that was a good one for the, can we keep our luggage at the casitas until everything is done on Sunday? Yes, that's allowed. So sorry I didn't answer that one during the.
Yeah, you have a full closet. You'll have dressers to put stuff in, so.
Yep. Alrighty. Okay, the only other thing I would mention when you're planning transportation, if you found someone in something, make sure you're going to Tucson and they're going to Tucson, or you're going to Phoenix and they're going to Phoenix. Don't like plan on there being a ride and they take you to the wrong airport. That's just something to think about. There are 2 airports, so. Alrighty. Okay, I think I've gone through my list of things. Go ahead, Joe.
So if people are arriving at 2 different airports, is there a way to take some kind of shuttle to meet at like one central airport if lots of people are going to be traveling to the biosphere, right? So if I was to fly, if I got a better deal on Phoenix and I can get from Phoenix to Tucson or whichever, which is closer, can we find out if there is some kind of shuttle that does that so that we can all meet at a certain time on Thursday?
Yeah, we can look into that. I will say, like, the way this works, if you guys bear with me on my hand map, like Tucson's here, Phoenix is here, and Biosphere is like somewhere in here. So it like wouldn't make sense to like try to do a Phoenix Tucson thing, but I understand what you're saying. Just so you understand that. We can start looking around into like what kind of tourist options there are for shuttles and that kind of stuff, general touristy things. And feel free to do that as well. If you find something that works out well, you can put it in a spreadsheet or email Analog Astro, and we'll be sure to kind of disperse that and get a group together for that.
Well, from what you said about Ubers, it might actually, is it worth figuring out like a meeting point in some town that's close so that before the conference starts, a bunch of us can meet there and then Uber in, and then at the end, a bunch of us can just get rides to whatever little town is nearby, like that?
Good point. And that's something I was willing to do on the last time around, and thank you for bringing that up, Joe. There's a town called Oracle, so that's a good one to kind of that's probably the closest one. And so yeah, I like, because for me, if I were to shuttle people to the airport, that's either 2 hours or 4 hours round trip, so I can only do like one group, probably maybe two, and it's a lot.
I didn't mean
that. No, I know, yeah. But what I'm completely willing to do is drive 20 minutes back and forth to get people to where they can call an Uber, do some ride shares. That kind of stuff is really a great idea as well. So
yeah, because you have Oro Valley right there.
In Oro Valley,
which is like 10 miles. It's like takes like 15 minutes from Biosphere to get there, and it has Ace Hardwares and stuff like that.
Coffee shops.
Coffee shops, and then there's another town just before that. So you got a couple little towns on the way to Biosphere. You could look and get hotel accommodations and stuff. But Oracle, just to let you know, really small town. Everything closes at 9 o'clock. We tried to get dinner the other night and end up going to some bar, and we were the only people in there. So hotel, I think there's one there. I've only been there once at night, and but yeah, look around there. I was going to bring my truck because I got a camper shell. I was going to sleep in the parking lot, in the visitors parking lot, if it came down to that.
It's always an option.
That's what Trent and I were going to do. Trent was going to bring his van, and I was going to bring the truck, and we were just going to stay there if we couldn't get a casita.
Yeah.
So, and there's camping all over there, right outside the main gate. That's all state land, so you can camp if you have an RV or whatever. You can literally camp right outside the biosphere. So,
And
there's lots of-
so I will say the reason that we can't really do Ubers and stuff like that and taxis is because there is a main gate to Biosphere, and it's quite a hike from the actual place. There's a little bit of a drive in, and that gate's going to be locked on Sunday, which means you can get out. You can like the gate will open if you're trying to leave, but we can't like give a code to Uber drivers to get in or something like that. So that's where the issue actually comes from. So as mentioned, you know, if you want to call a taxi, call an Uber, get you to a place that's not in the middle of the desert outside of the gate, but like an actual town or something like that. And then you can call an Uber from that place. That's it. It's just the gate is the issue, and Biosphere, you know, facilities isn't going to be there. So we don't want to be letting random people in and having all that issue. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we can get people like myself that can shuttle in there, I got a code, so I can get in and, you know, shuttle people in and out. We don't have to worry about that. So I'll put my info in there and we'll see. But like you said, like Bailey said, going to the airport and back, that's a long trip, and that's a quarter tank of gas each trip for me.
Yeah.
But I've got the capacity to carry a bunch of stuff. So we can coordinate. I can throw everybody's luggage in one person in my truck and then pack Bailey's car or something.
It's a small car. Don't plan on
it's a clown car. Don't let her fool you.
I'm a small person, so I don't need a big car. But
it's a Volkswagen.
I will say that, like, I do understand that this part is very unconventional for conferences to kind of have this issue of like driving, and like it's just because we love this facility so much. We think Biosphere is worth it of working through these kind of strange issues that most conferences don't have. We understand it's a pain. We're willing to help you guys. We're willing to work through it. It's worth it. Like, I know it's weird, but trust me, it's worth it. So thank you guys for bearing with us on those kind of issues that most conferences don't have.
Hey, Bailey, and I guess the one that's working at the Biosphere now. So I am planning on bringing my Model S over again. So, and there was electric vehicle charging on site. So if anyone else plans on bringing an EV, you know, we probably need to share. So but yeah, I do, and
yeah,
I
make
think
sure you're charged up.
Yeah, but last year I did charge at the Biosphere, but that was because one of the staff members let me do it. So
yeah,
hopefully I can do it. Yeah.
Yep, down at the SAM where we're having Mission Control built right now, which you got SAM at the lower, then Mission Control is kind of up on the hill that overlooks it. There's EV charging stations there. That's
okay, good. I would like to request access to those for sure.
So we will see if you can get back there or not, because that's like employee type only.
Yeah, last year we did. Last year I did. So yeah.
Can you send a message to analogastro@gmail and we'll work through that issue?
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
also,
if it has to escort you down there, whatever.
Yeah.
But
especially since I plan on, I think Rebecca will be riding with me at least. So we want to have at least one functional EV. So okay. I'll send a message.
Good point.
Alvin, is there extra room in your car for anyone else? Do you want me to put you on the car list?
For anyone that arrives the same time you do, I gotta think about it. So
think about it, and then you can check out this spreadsheet too, and you can add in if you want to offer.
I do have capacity for one or two, but they would have to be around that flight time. So
yeah, so that'd be like late Thursday morning. Cool. Okay, so you think about it, and then I'll add you to the list when you're ready.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely want to request access to that charger, so that would help logistics a lot. But I'll send a message over.
Okay.
Thank you. And like I said, worst comes to worst, we can get you to Biosphere. Like Ubers will get you to Biosphere. And I just did a quick Google, there's all these like, you know, ways to get to Biosphere from Tucson. Like apparently that's a thing people Google. It's getting back that's hard. And luckily you'll have made a whole bunch of friends at the Analog Astronaut Conference, and you know, we'll kind of work through it. It's getting back that's the hard part. So
yeah, nobody was left behind last year. So
yeah, don't worry. We're not like you're walking now. Like we're not those people. Don't worry.
But hey, it's such a beautiful place to get left at behind.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
true.
I'd go disappear in the dome.
Yeah. Do
Anyway,
your own analog mission, and maybe like if you happen to stay overnight, you make nice friends with some of the tourists, and maybe one of them will drive you back. I don't know, but please don't do that. We would actually get in trouble if you did that. But cool. All right. Well, I think that's everything that I wanted to present. I'm gonna open it up for Q&A with I mean, Jazz is one of the overall organizers, so she's the knower of all answers. So if you guys have any other questions, like the EV question or anything like that, feel free to ask them now. Anything you guys are uncomfortable with, unsure about, anything like that.
And I just want to say that we have a great lineup of speakers coming. One special speaker that we do have coming is Frank White, who usually only appears online. He'll actually be there on person. He'll be speaking on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. So stay behind to meet Frank. He'll be there that week. I know,
Hey,
finally we get to meet him in person.
I know. Quick question to you guys. Do we have an agenda of speakers? Like
Yes, we do. Matthias, I guess you're not registered, so the email just goes out to people who are registered. So I'll need your email address, and I can shoot you off. Actually, you know what? I uploaded a draft agenda onto our website. So if you go to our website, analog-astronaut.com, click on agenda at the top, and there is a button there to download a PDF, very draft version of the agenda.
Yes.
Okay.
And are we still? How are we doing this day of? Jazz, do we have like the app still, or like the website that we'll go to? Like there's a website that'll like show. Remember that like last year there was like
agenda? Yeah, so last year we had paper agenda, but we also had the website had like the agenda on it. This year I was tempted to go 100% digital, just to like, although it was recycled paper, I don't know if that makes it better. Even so though, it might be nice to go entirely digital and maybe just offer some agendas for people who might need the paper version. But we'll think about how to do that. But certainly when you get there, you won't be lost. We'll have it written or on a whiteboard or whatever every day, so you know where to go and what to do.
Cool. I'm just thinking because if Mac and I will be filming, it'd be kind of cool to see who we're filming and what times they are, right?
Where to be where, yeah.
It would help. Would help a little.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah, you'll get this is at the moment, like I said, this is just the draft agenda up there. It shouldn't change too much. Maybe some of the times might shift slightly, but in general, it'll probably be about the same. And then I'll send out a final agenda to everybody before in a couple of weeks before the conference.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think what Ryan said, bringing a USB charger, like a battery pack or something like that's not a bad idea. So you're not, everyone's having fun, but you're stuck in your casita because your phone's dead. Yeah, let's not do that one. So there is outlets, not many outlets, but there are some outlets throughout. So if you have like a little plug-in, that works. But yeah, so battery pack, lantern, sunscreen, bug spray if needed. So sandals, closed toed shoes, but go ahead, Jeff.
At least a water bottle.
Definitely bring your reusable water bottle. Very important. Bring that. If you want to bring alcohol, you can bring alcohol, but you must keep it in your casita.
Mm-hmm.
So that is very important. You can't then bring your alcohol out into the common areas, the conference area, the dining where we're eating. You can't do that. We are planning on having a alcohol bar during party night, so we will take care of that during that party evening. But in general, if you do want it in your casita, you can please keep it in the casita.
That'll be cash though, right? Because just to be clear for everyone,
Cash
the bar, or is that sponsored? Is that a sponsored bar or a cash bar?
Yet. We will let you know close to the time.
We'll have to, because
sponsor the bar.
That way people might have to
right?
know I mean, bring cash to tip, obviously, but that would be good to know for everyone.
Yeah, speaking of that, do we need to bring cash or can we rely on our cards for any incidentals?
There is really not going to be anything. There's nothing to purchase at Biosphere. As such.
Yeah. Souvenirs.
What about
so?
Is there a deposit required?
At reception, sorry, Rebecca. At the reception area, we can take credit card. So that's not a problem. If you want to buy something like you say, the hats, t-shirts, things like that, we'll have that set up online, so you'll be able to make your purchase online again through a credit card. Cash is probably less useful, but if cash is needed for something like the alcohol bar or something like that, we will send an email and let you know. But you can work on the assumption that you don't really need cash at the
Card's
conference.
fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Does BIOS do the casitas charge a deposit like they do it at hotels when they check you in?
No, you will be purchasing either $180 or $360, and that is just the total cost for your stay during the casita. So there's no like incidentals kind of deposit charge like that. Honestly, like last year was fantastic. Everybody was very respectful, left everything in the condition they should. If something were to happen, this is a question for Kim, really. I don't know what their process is for something like that, but we, probably he'll come on us, and we don't want that. So please just be very, very respectful.
You don't want to make Kim mad.
Don't make him mad.
That's
Don't
a
get us in trouble,
no-no.
please.
Please don't. Then we'll hear it, like Kai.
Honestly, like all
No.
of our guests have just been fantastic people, and I have a feeling that we're going to get another group of fantastic people this year. So I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Hey, quick question for you, Jazz. Did Trent get a hold of you about the volunteers that wanted to volunteer? He said he was
Yes,
gonna.
he did. Yes, he.
Okay,
emailed me,
good.
yeah.
Good, fantastic.
Awesome. So I did have some breakout rooms. I've got them lined up, and this is going to be like if you haven't met a roommate yet and you just kind of want to talk to some people who are going and see if you click with any of them to be roommates or be casita mates. I'll leave that one open. If you're worried about transportation, there's a transportation one, so you can talk to people who may have cars and that kind of stuff and work that out. There's one that's for both casitas and transportation. There's one if you guys have general questions that you were too embarrassed to ask here, or whatever, we'll have someone in that room just to kind of go through those questions with you. And then a couple extra chat rooms if you guys just want to like I said, kind of mingle with people who are going, anything like that. Before I open those, any other questions that anyone has right now? Okay, thank you for that, Ashley. I have that link. Make sure you grab that link in the chat.
And I'll email that link out as well. If you bought a ticket, you'll get an email with the link for the ride share, because I think that's very important for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sure. And like I said, just as a reminder, if you haven't bought your ticket yet, it's going up April 1st. So please buy your ticket before then. Tell all your friends that it's about to go up. This is your time. You got 5 days or whatever that is. So please make sure you buy those tickets. Awesome. I'm going to open up the breakout rooms. Feel free to,
You guys did a great job on this. I don't really have any other questions, but can somebody put the link for the video from last year? You said there's a video on YouTube from last year. Is that on the website somewhere, or is it easy to find? Or
Joe, are you in the community, the Analog Astronaut community, Mighty Networks? If you're not, you must join. First of all,
I'm a space kind person. I don't know.
All right. First of all, I will drop that in, but also I'll drop the. We have a channel on YouTube, and I'll drop that in here as well.
Okay, thanks.
And Jazz, make sure those videos are not hidden anymore, because if you don't have that link, then they're not searchable.
Yep. Okay.
Do you think we can send out most of the transcript, like the like chat links? There's like 10 links in there that are all useful. Maybe we can do an email blast or something to register it or post it online or in a Mighty Networks post.
Yep, sure. We can do that.
And that's something we didn't mention. Mighty Networks, if you're not already on it, great way to stay involved with what's going on, both for the conference and in the Analog Astronaut community in general. So be sure to join that. Kind of like an app, you'll have to download Mighty Networks. It's kind of like a social media app, but this is specifically for Analog Astronaut Conference community people. So that's a good one to be a part of. So I do have the breakout rooms open. If anyone wants to jump into them, by all means, ask questions here. All of us conference leader people will be around to answer questions and stuff. So feel free to jump around as needed. And I guess with that, I'm just super excited to see you guys in a couple, like a month now. About a month and a few days away. So I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Thanks, guys. I'm gonna
Excited
head
to
out.
see everyone.
All right.
Nice to
Hey,
see everyone
Matt.
today.
Hey, Mac, join me in lodging, okay?
Sure. See you there.
All right.
Wait. Never done this for myself. Share whiteboard.
I can
chat.
move you actually if
Oh,
you
yeah,
want.
please. Thank you.
Yeah, I think and that goes for anyone if anyone
Oh, I
wants.
see. It's an icon on the phone. It's an
Yeah.
icon with four.
Are you need to go to lodging? Is that where you're going, Meg?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thanks. Energize.
Energize. Let's see here. If anyone else needs me to move them anywhere, please let me know. I'll hang out in this room for a little bit, but
Looks like we've got 3 people in lodging and transport. Surprise, surprise, that would be the most important, I think. Should I stop the recording now? I don't think we need.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, we can stop that.